Welcome to My Love of Life Energy. I'm Anna Scott, your host. I love beautiful, rich conversations that reveal the truth, beauty, and uniqueness of each person I meet, and I'm honored to share them with you. Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to my podcast, My Love of Life Energy. And I have with me today Evan Cudworth, who I don't know anything about other than he's in Chicago and that he's a party coach. And so we're going to find out what this is about. And I love a good conversation. So welcome, Evan.
Thanks for having me. Let's party.
Okay, so I'm how the hell did you ever come up with being a party coach? Where did that come from?
Yeah, so I think some of us have our search for purpose and others have purpose thrust upon them. And this is perhaps a little bit of both.
Oh,
I was
wow.
a nerdy high schooler, went to a very nerdy college. Our motto, unofficial motto is where fun comes to die. And through it all, I found partying as a way to cope with my intellect that told me that the world was, dark and mean and terrible and I found partying as a way to explore all different avenues of that. It led me into being able to, I worked in music, I threw raves in New York, I eventually moved to LA and through it all ran into my own problems with alcohol and substances and eventually had to deal with periods of sobriety and still wondering what is a party without those things? Do we still need alcohol and substances? I got to party for 2 years completely sober and go to festivals and all places and through that I've been coaching and teaching and just trying to I think I'm a paradox. I don't think I'm a role model, but I like to have conversations about partying because I believe that partying might be the tool that saves humanity, that reconnects humanity, because it cuts through so many of the other modalities and things that are maybe a little too serious. And so, with that,
Oh, I
I'd like to
love
toss it
that.
back to you and ask, yeah, what does the word party mean to you?
Oh, um, the Saturday Night Live line, there's a party in my pants just came into my mind, which is probably inappropriate, but what the heck?
That's perfect.
Um, I don't know. I like there's a dinner party,
Hmm.
there's birthday parties. I think what's a party? I see balloons. I see kind of like a celebration of life.
Hmm.
How about you? What do you see? What's today fresh? Not what you think, but what's fresh in this moment. Like if you'd never somebody asked you what a party is and you didn't go into your Rolodex of past things, what would it be right now in this moment for you?
What's shown up for me a lot this today and this week is parties to take part in, to participate.
Oh,
Increasingly, I think we are spectators in the world. And
oh,
I've been making content on TikTok for a long time. When I first started, I was making really cringy dance TikToks where I would just dance and I'd be like, "You don't need alcohol to dance," and I'd do that. And then I kind of got serious for a little while. My very grateful to have developed a coaching practice and gotten some press, and it's always been fun. But I think there was a part of me. I hired some social media coaches who were like, you need to if people are going to take you seriously, you need to, be more serious. And so I just woke up this last week and this is the week of the 13th year anniversary of my mom dying. And that's a big
oh.
issue around partying and escapism. And I was like, I just want to dance. And so I just started dancing again, and it feels really good. And my views aren't great, but I feel great when I participate in dancing. So that's what it feels like to me this week.
Oh, so partying is a dance.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no wonder when you said participate, then your whole body gets to participate rather than just watch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
So, what's it like? How do you know when you're fully participating rather than just watching? Like Chauncey the Gardener, I like to watch.
So there's a couple things I have myself and people I work with check in on. One being that if you are going to party purely out of self-interest, if you're like, I want to be more confident or I want something, there has to be some sort of an exchange or a dance. I have this thing called the party within where it's like I serve the party, right? If I can show up and serve the party and let the party flow through me, call it
Uh,
spirit, call it God, call it whatever you want. But if I am channeling the party within, then I know I'm participating. Versus if I want to go, like when I work out a lot and I look really fit, I was like, I want to go shirtless somewhere and people can see me. Maybe that's not exactly it, but it's an impetus to participate.
oh, I love that. I love serve the party.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a different perspective. Like showing up, it's how do I contribute versus what am I going to get from it?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you deal with like anxiety or how do you feel like you show up in social situations?
It depends.
Yeah.
I'm a variable. I'm like the weather.
Yes.
And so it depends on the moment and the day and whatever is going on. I get overwhelmed in large situations.
Mhm.
So if you knew me, the truth of me is I've never been to a rave or a big thing because my nervous system goes into overload. It's too much. I get overloaded.
Yeah.
And I really prefer intimacy and depth and quiet. But I love a good time. I love to laugh if you knew me too. So
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have to discover that that intimacy was more a thing? Like, did people try to draw you into places that you didn't necessarily want to be, or how did you settle into that?
um, by listening to my body,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be in overload
Mm-hmm.
and then I'd have to numb.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I love the fact that I mean, I have this in my next life. I plan on coming back and being like you, where I can go to these raves and parties and be with hundreds of people and swim in. I think it's not on this ticket and I've just had to accept it.
Yeah. That so accepting and letting go is I think a big part of what I would even say party is, ability to let go of expectations of what other people have for us or what we think we need to be.
Mm.
I I think a good party is maybe a balance between the Apollonian and Dionysian, if you're familiar with like Apollo and Dionysus. Dionysus kind of being this transformation, but also a dissolving of our ego into the collective. And I've had to learn how can I do that in silence? My journey of the
Oh,
last 10 years has been I started having some panic attacks and started to try to meditate about a little over 10 years ago. And it took me so long. And I had to do so many retreats. And I just fail over and over and over again. But of course, none of it was failure. And yeah, now I'm on day like 560 of consecutive meditation, and I'm able to tap into and dissolve into a different type of collective through that stillness that I was not capable of before. It was
mm,
really uncomfortable. Some days for me, it still is, but that's been my journey too.
wow. That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I envy that. Like I'm getting more skillful at it or more resilient in being in large groups. Like I went to a party
Mm-hmm.
and I was the life of the party because I was fun
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I was calm and I didn't drink too much or it was like for my body, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that power that you're talking about is to be that stillness in all that noise, all of that is so powerful. It's so beautiful.
That word beauty has been cropping up a lot in the last couple weeks. Because I think I messed up a little bit when I was trying to create this party coach identity. I come from, I was coaching executives and people who you know, wanted these return on their investment, right? And so dealing with dopamine, and you'll have X% more confidence. And what's the ROI on being able to be more confident or be in those places? And I increasingly feel like fun or partying, if you try to quantify it, it destroys it. And we have to party because it's beautiful, or we shouldn't be doing it at all. And if it's fitting into, oh, I have to slot in partying because it's going to solve the loneliness crisis, whatever, just go. I don't know. I used to think that that was the solution, and now I think like beauty and irrationally, we have to irrationally party is the solution.
But I mean, it's so funny because the minute I think this is an opinion, so take what you like, leave the rest, as a
Yeah.
friend of mine, Laura says. Um, the minute I make anything a solution, it's not the solution.
Yeah. Yes.
It's, and I could start giving you, the minute I said that, I was like, I could feel my BS about to come.
Hmm.
And what was it? I was driving home from the vet hospital to get here and I was late. And I remember a friend saying to me, because sometimes I live a really small life in a lot of ways. Like I'm not big, but I have two kids and they love me. And my son's staying here and I'm helping them take care of this sick dog. My daughter's come over because she just broke up and they're happy to be here. And that's my party. We have a beautiful meal and we laugh and we like each other. And I have fresh cut roses that are so beautiful. But I haven't gotten any messages that I'm supposed to be doing something different. And I thought, well, then I must be doing it right.
Yeah, I get to talk with lots of different types of people, and I'm out a lot partying with people. And just from I I don't think this is BS, but like your energy does not feel small at all to me. Like you feel like I feel like you've got a chakra system that is shooting down to the center of the earth. So I don't feel that from you. So
Yeah, I don't think I agree. I have big energy. Thank you. I feel very seen and embarrassed.
yeah.
And right back at you is I feel such a tender heart in you. So much love. Just so much love.
A lot of scar tissue on it, but
But just so much love.
yeah.
I mean, do you feel that inside of you?
Yeah, figuring out where to put it,
Oh,
all the love that I
I
have has been so hard. I mean, it's why I became a cocaine addict. It's why I became, every type of addict I could be, was how could I like put this love with people who stay up longer with me, who will share their traumas with me? Like, how could I create as many opportunities for me to like share this love and be there for people? Um, yeah, and of course I wouldn't change any of it. But yeah, I've always, been too much and overworking a lot in trying to do that. But yeah, I've had really good teachers and mentors, and ways that I've been able to come back in, and like we're doing right now, just be in conversation. I feel like finally allows this love to come out in a way that feels more aligned with like what higher power has for me.
it's so funny. Um, what's funny, what's beautiful, what touches me is I think that's the beauty of a conversation is the love can be communicated. Like I can feel it energetically transmitting between you and I,
Hmm.
and and yet feel so touched by you. And that to me is in any party, this is what I'm is it longing for or desiring or wanting to share? Oh, it's to share the conversation.
Hmm.
And that's why I love going to
Were you
parties
ever a
is,
dancer? Did you ever dance or?
oh, you know what? In another life, I'm going to be a great dancer. I'm much older than you, so I come from a different generation, and the amount of shame I've had to work through about this body and being a woman and the amount of energy I have
Yeah.
is so if I get up and start dancing, I can feel the that energy comes right on aboard, and I'm working with it.
Mm,
But the I love dance. I love energy moving in people's bodies.
yeah. Yeah, there's again not trying to be in solution, but I'll speak for myself. I'm I've spent most of my life dancing and I'm a terrible dancer. And people come up to me and they're like, I used to think it was a compliment. They're like, you really don't care what people think, do you? And I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I don't.
Well, I'll
Um,
tell you what, if I come to Chicago, I will have you take me out dancing
I
in a
would
play.
I would love that.
How did you fall in love with dancing?
I one grew up in grateful I grew up around a lot of music. My aunt was in the Chicago Symphony. She's a violist.
Oh, is she really?
And yeah, and I'm a cellist. And so I grew up kind of immersed in classical music and loved that, but I fell in love with the stage. I started acting. I got really into Shakespeare and musicals. And I remember I was playing cello in the pit orchestra of the musical in high school and seeing people dance on stage. And I was like, I want to do that. And
Oh
so trying
God.
out for the musical and then getting up on the stage and looking down at the people in the pit and realizing I had done that. And it was just I was got to join our show choir, and I just never felt more alive than when I was on stage. And so I loved that. But then I realized a party was basically everyone's on stage together because we're all dancing. So it's basically one big stage where there's no pit orchestra and stage. It's like the stage is just everyone together. I mean, except for the DJ, but even they are dancing too. So I think that's why I fell in love with dancing is like everyone gets to be on stage together.
Oh my God. So you love the unity of life.
Yeah.
You that do you consider the audience on stage with you then too?
So one of the things that I talk about with the word party and why it's I think confusing for people is the word itself is almost a contronym, which means that it means its own opposite. So party, kind of original ways that it was started, like partier, but like a hunting party, right? So it's like the people would split off into different parties, right? And then think of like a legal part. It was used as a legal term, like one party suing another party. And so there is a separateness, but it also creates a new belonging, right? So it's like a breaking off into a new collective. And so I often talk about like a party where every person on earth is invited to. I don't know if that's a party because there almost needs to be like an in-group, out-group. There needs to be that sense of belonging that there is something, there's a frequency that's being created inside of this environment that is not
Uh,
every day.
oh, see, I have a challenge for you.
Yeah.
What I'm feeling, this is Anna Scott's assessment or opinion.
Yeah.
Take it, we all get our own.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like your soul is saying, oh no, life is a party and it's all the frequency is love. And that is the true party.
Yes.
That's
I
what I
think
feel
that's
from you right now.
yeah.
I'm not saying that that's your truth. I'm saying my experience in talking to you right now is you're reminding me that it's one big party and it's all the frequency is love.
Yes.
And how do I enjoy that?
Yes.
Oh God. What's so fun about it is that is it's like, oh, work becomes the party. The everything becomes the party if it's that frequency.
Yeah. Yeah, let me check in on that. I think there's truth in there. I do want to just I think for people that are experiencing, perhaps as you and I are, our soul's experience on Earth now, that we maybe have been here long enough that we are we're capable of feeling that in more places. Although sometimes I doubt that a lot, and I feel so new and that I really don't know what I'm doing or talking about at all. And my experience, I've been doing a lot of throat chakra stuff lately, and like the wisdom of listening instead of speaking. And what I do know is that I've tried to stay too long at the party, and I've tried to make the party last forever. And at least in this experience of my body in this time, I don't think that's why I chose to come here. That it's not like at least this, I can't try to make it last forever. I get to appreciate it, beauty and love when it shows up, but not try to force it to stay forever. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I see. um I studied this thing called the gene keys. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's the 63rd gene key, and it's about uh, doubt, inquiry, and truth. And what you see is what I've learned is that the perceiver and the object are one. And I realize my frequency drops and that I'm not perceiving the love, I'm not perceiving the beauty because I'm in a lower vibration. And there's nothing wrong with that lower vibration. That's love too.
Hmm.
And how do I love that?
I believe so. There's a lot of overlap with gene keys and human design, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I believe I have a 63 gate in human design.
I'm definitely, after we get off this call, I'm like, can you give me your birthday? Because I'm looking
Yeah,
you
yeah,
up.
please. I would
I'm
love, yeah,
like,
I'd love to.
I see what your soul.
When we first got in, that was literally my first thought. I was like, I need to, I feeling this, whatever you're at. I was like, I need where I'm gonna be later in my life. I don't know. I feel like I'd hope to be more aligned with the type of energy that you have.
Oh, that's so interesting. What energy do you see that I have?
The grounding and okayness with what you say is a small life. But to be so present for your kids and for those things. I struggle with I've always got to be more, more, more and be more and more seen and leave legacies upon the earth.
Uh,
And I just got off the phone right now with this with my aunt, who's the one in the symphony. It was her sister, my mom, who passed 13 years ago. And there's all these ways in which I was just not able to be present with what I had and the love that was there. And whatever the next version or the rest of my life has in store, I know the meaning that I would like to feel more of is just more grounded and being okay with being in the present and just being here and not thinking about how am I going to fix and change and manipulate how I'm seen by the world.
hmm, that's a valiant effort. What was your mom's name?
Linda,
Linda. Here's to Linda.
thank you.
Do you have brothers or sisters?
I have a younger sister, yeah, Emily.
And are you guys close?
We are we've done a lot of repairing in the last year or two.
Mm,
So
mm.
there's natural sibling drift and a lot of it Yeah, it was probably not easy to be my younger younger sibling to me.
What did you study in college?
I mean, I definitely hopped around, but took a degree in English, um, with theater and Spanish as minors.
You have a very philosophical bent. Is that true?
Yes, a lot. I wanted to study religion and theology, but it didn't quite fit. I'm sitting here. Well, so my books are here. I have Thoreau right here, and I have
Oh,
Zen. What
yeah.
more do you want? But I'm rereading all the great books now. So I started with Iliad, Odyssey. I'm going back through all the Greek plays and through Plato now, and yeah. So, but very interested in those ideas.
What
How
is
about
it
you?
that you love? Well, wait a second. What is it that you love about those ideas?
I feel very connected to the fact that the people 2000 years ago or 400 years ago were thinking much more deeply about the metaphysics of the world that we're in than a lot of people are capable of nowadays. Like they
Wow.
were just so, the way that they saw, what a lot of people now online will call like the Matrix or, those things, the way they talked about the soul. Emerson's probably my favorite philosopher, and like this transcendental way that
Yeah.
he saw the soul and how to build truth internally through love of nature and the self. Yeah, I don't know. I find it really really beautiful.
Wow. There's your groundedness right there. That is
Yeah.
so beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Huh.
When did you sort of come to gene keys and those things? Have you always been interested in that stuff or?
I've been on this journey for, God damn, it's going to be almost 40 years. um, but why I got into the Gene Keys is that I was doing medicine. I was doing Bufo. I don't know if you've ever had
hmm
Bufo.
hmm
And I'd have these profound experiences and I'd be me and nothing
hmm
would change. And I thought, well, that's crazy talk. And I listened to one of them. I was on a thing called heart medicine and I heard the truth. And it became this like salve for my soul. It helped me
hmm
understand what's going on and give me great peace, like a deep sense of relaxation, like another layer of deep relaxation,
Yeah.
to whatever's happening in life.
Does that, well, I've started to experience that great serenity about 2 years ago, especially as it relates to the world and other things. It gets me into trouble sometimes. People who want me to be more angry or reaction to the world. And yeah, I don't I used to even feel a need to explain it, and now I don't know if I even feel that need anymore. But yeah, how does that serenity show up for you? Do people understand it? Does it cause problems for you?
It can. I've known that when people start talking, they always go, "Oh, you don't like to talk about this stuff." And um, I don't know. Sometimes I have more grace with it because I just see that I'm gonna, we externalize our fear.
Mm,
Like human beings, what I learned through the Gene Keys is that we all have fear. And so I'm learning how to be with that depth of fear and not make it externalized.
mm,
And I realize people who haven't done the work that I've done, they're just doing the best they can because it's just natural.
mhm,
So I have a lot of compassion and then I just ground myself a lot when I'm with, like I was in the car with a friend and she was spinning out of control. It was like, whoa, I'm in a pinball machine of her fear.
mhm.
And I just grounded and stayed present because I got curious. to see what she sees, you know. Mm.
Yeah. I had somebody that I met a couple weeks ago out at a party who, and I meet lots of people like this, are, somewhere in their journey of maybe they realizing I need to be drinking less or, something's not working in my life. And, we end up back at my place and turns out he's pretty, spiritually aligned, but goes off on this thing for like 20 minutes about, he was like, I was watching me. He was like, these are all the ways in which you were affecting and flowing everyone at that party. And he like showed all, like, he was like, had been watching me through all these things and showing about how, simply how I was like either dancing or being grounded or connecting with people that, you know, he was like, do you see that you do this? And sometimes I don't. But learning that yes, I can be in conversation, but part of what I've been able to learn is that, yeah, the more I can shut up and just be,
Oh,
maybe that's because my biggest fear, I did this big 12-step fear inventory, and all of my fears ended in I fear I'll have no legacy. I was obsessed with Gilgamesh, the Epic of Gilgamesh, who's like this god man who scrawls his story on the wall of Uruk. And 5,000 years later, we have this story, and I was like, I better get a story like that.
maybe you are
And
him.
so, but um, letting go of that fear and asking for that fear to be removed.
Mm.
Well, not perfect. I don't always remember it, but when I do remember it, it dissolves pretty quickly. And I'm able to just be.
Yeah.
And so I do hope and wish for people to get to a place where they can look at fear and ask for it to be dissolved.
I think
But
that's the,
yeah, yeah.
I think the, I always say the first place to start is in me. So you must be doing really well because you're looking inside.
The
That's
party is
the,
within. Yeah.
right. All right. We are coming to the end of our time,
Yeah.
which I can't believe. And I just want to say something, Evan. I can see the power of you. And like we just had this beautiful conversation and we didn't know each other.
Mhm.
And I think that's the beauty. We got to know each other at a somewhat deeper level.
This was really cool. It felt like out of time, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I think we jumped a little bit of we jumped out of time for this minute, which feels is rare and beautiful. So
Yeah.
thank you.
This went longer than I thought. All of a sudden I thought,
Yeah.
oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't thank you enough. And so, Evan, where do
Yeah.
people find you? You're,
Yeah. If you just go to partycoach.me, or if you're on Instagram or TikTok or anything, just search the party coach and
it's been
you'll
an
probably
honor.
see me dancing.
I hope so. I'm going to have to look for that. All right. Thank you, Evan.
Lovely. Thank you.